Welcome. This course is Grant Writing for Teachers, and my name is Shannon. I'm so excited that you're here and that I get to share with you some knowledge about grant writing and how it can help you get supplies you need, or trainings you want, or even funding for a whole new program. As teachers, we know what it's like to operate on a budget, and this course is intended to add money to that budget so you not only have access to the things that you may need, but also the things that you may want as well. In this course, we'll go over what a grant is, where we can look to find grants, how to apply for grants once we find some that fit our needs, and also some tips on what should be expected during the grant cycle if and when you get your first grant. So, jumping right in, what is a grant? Well, it's an award that is given by an entity to you or your organization. Grants can come in the form of goods and services, but it is typically a financial award. These financial awards can benefit your specific needs by purchasing supplies that you may need or want, extra training to advance your own teaching skills and knowledge. They can even fund a whole new program or curriculum that you've been wanting to add to your school or school district. Most importantly, this is funding that does not have to be repaid. But that doesn't mean that there aren't some stipulations that need to be fulfilled and rules that need to be followed. We'll get into this a bit later as well, but typically it's expected that this funding comes with recognition for the entity that gave it to you. It must be spent according to the agreed upon terms between you and the grantor, and it also requires that you track your spending and the outcomes of the grant process in order to send in a final report. There are a few different reasons that grantors typically give grants. Some of those are for tax benefits, for the recognition that I mentioned earlier, to help their communities, or to just help in general. We'll get into specific grantors in the next section, but these things are what drives them to giving funding to causes and to address needs just like yours. All that being said, this is money that can help you. It is there, it is much easier to access than you may think, and there is a lot more of it than you could imagine. So I want you to ask yourself, if you had access to grant funding, what would you use it for? Trainings, supplies, STEM tools, new curriculum to introduce to your students, to take your students on a field trip, or to start a whole new program. Before you go on to the next section, I want you to take a minute to brainstorm on what you'd like for your classroom or school if you had access to the funding in order to obtain it. Definitely don't limit yourself just to this list, and I will see you in the next section when we start getting into where we look for grants.